Every day we stroll around thinking of facts, which some of them are true, but others are gravely wrong. I chose those picks of today's episode among the most widely known and most interesting beliefs, so here are the answers of those myths and truths. Number 1. Apples, potatoes and onions taste the same. First on this list is a matter of taste. And don't get me wrong, it's only a matter of taste and nothing more. It is believed that all three, potatoes, apples and onions, taste the same if the person eating them does not have a sense of smell. And also, do not look at them. Minos, are you nuts? I can taste the onion's heavy taste compared to the sweet taste of an apple, I hear you say. This is only a misconception. Because taste and smell cooperate, these two senses work together to tell our brains what we are eating. We often associate smells with tastes. But if you block the sense of smell, everything changes. Here is an example for you. If you have the flu or a cold, then everything becomes tasteless. Have you ever wondered why that is, since your tongue and taste buds essentially remain unaffected by your condition? What isn't unaffected, of course, is your nose, because it gets blocked and congested. That's the reason why food is so tasteless when we have the flu or a cold. You can actually try this at home. It is very easy to do and quite fun. You only need a potato, 1 apple, 1 onion, a peeler and a friend. First, you need your friend as a guinea pig so the taste is unbiased. Then you need to peel off each of these 3 items and then slice them into small identically shaped pieces. You will also need a set of nose plugs to block your friend's nose from smelling. If you have no nose plugs, you can pinch your nose shut with your fingers and proceed with the experiment. The task is to block your friend's sense of smell and try each food item without looking at it. While your friend has their nose and eyes blocked and shut respectively, help them touch these food items with the tip of their tongue. Tell them to record what they sense, what they taste. Throughout this process, you will determine whether you can taste an onion or an apple or a potato. Chances are that you won't be able to. Also, a very important tip. While you taste, do not inhale any air, because then you eventually stop blocking your sense of smell. Nerve cells are never restored. The idea that nerve cells can regenerate is nothing but a myth. Many scientific researchers disprove it. In fact, this restoration is not only possible but has its own name: neuroregeneration. A mouthful to say, but this refers to the regrowth or repair of nervous tissues, cells or cell products. Such mechanisms may include generation of new neurons, neuroglia, axons, myelin or synapses. I will not get too technical here, but the main thing to learn from this is that proteins of oligodendric or glial debris origin that influence for neuroregeneration. There are 2 types of regeneration, the peripheral and the central. Both types are bound to whether the neurons are regenerated from the central or peripheral nervous system of our bodies. Following an injury to the axon, peripheral neurons activate a variety of signaling pathways which turn on pro-growth genes, leading to reformation of a functional growth cone and regeneration. The growth of these axons is also governed by secreted from Schwann cells. Nonetheless, a peripheral nervous system regeneration is easier to achieve compared to a limited central nervous system regeneration. White bread contains more calories than rye. In fact, both of them have about the same number of calories. Rye and white bread differ mostly by the composition of the flour which they are made of. Rye bread is typically made with a combination of rye flour and rye grains. Compared with regular white and whole wheat bread, rye bread tends to be denser and darker and has a stronger sour yet earthly taste. Rye flour contains less gluten than wheat flour, which is why the bread is denser and doesn't rise as high as regular wheat-based breads. On average, a portion of 100 grams of rye bread contains 259 calories, compared to 100 grams of white bread, which contains 264 calories. The main misconception behind bread is the fact that some manufacturers include a lot of sugar to make it sweeter. There is a website called weightlossresources.co.uk where you can find their calories for many types of foods per serving. Among mosquitoes, only the females drink blood. It seems like every summer we start off thinking, maybe the mosquitoes won't be bad this year. Then August comes and it seems like we can't even enjoy our backyards or a walk in the park without coming back with battle scars from those pesky pests. You've probably wondered why mosquitoes drink blood. Can't they just leave us alone? In the world of mosquitoes, male and female mosquitoes look mostly the same, but males are strictly vegetarian. It turns out that both male and female mosquitoes feed on the nectar and juice of plants, but in many species only the female's mouth is adapted for piercing the skin of other creatures to drink their blood. The reason why only female mosquitoes drink blood is so that they can nourish their childbearing bodies. Blood is full of proteins and amino acids, which makes it a perfect prenatal supplement for growing mosquito eggs. But even mosquitoes have their own preferences of blood types. Human blood, for example, is categorized based on the presence and absence of antibodies and inherited antigenic substances on the surface of red blood cells. These antigens may be proteins, carbohydrates, glycoproteins, or glycolipids, depending on the blood group system. A majority of humans release a chemical through their skin that indicates their blood type. Mosquitoes have the ability to detect this, and studies have shown that mosquitoes prefer type O blood over A or B types. Don't get too comfortable if you don't have type 0 blood. If the mosquitoes don't find this, A and B will be their option. So, you're next. Metal body piercing increases the chance of being struck by lightning. In general, lightnings are not attracted by metal objects. A lightning is condensed electricity and strikes when negative and positive charged clouds collide above the surface of the Earth. But this occurs only at an optimum height that generates electric lines which hit the ground. Even though metals are conductors of electricity, they are not attractors of electricity. And thus, metal piercings cannot attract lightnings. What attracts lightnings, though, is things that optimize the parameters of a lightning strike, which is isolated, pointy-shaped objects. Reading in low light affects visual acuity. This misconception leads to the fact that a portion of it is true. Whether you're trying to read a map while lost in the last leg of a long road trip, or you're just too lazy to turn on the light while reading before bed, sometimes it's just more convenient to read in the dark. So how does reading in the dark affect your eyes? According to most eye doctors, it won't cause lasting damage. Vision tends to weaken over time for most people, and family history tends to be a big factor in determining that. But while reading in low light won't cause a decline in your vision. It can lead to eye strain though. Just like any muscle in our bodies, the eyes can get weak when overworked. Of course, eyes are not muscles, but vision is determined from muscles around the eyeball, which helps you focus. Challenging visual work, like reading in half light, causes the eyes to become tired faster than they normally would. Some symptoms of eye strain include tired eyes, headaches, itchy eyes, blurred vision, and increased sensitivity to light. After a short break though, your eyes will feel just fine. It's like exercising. After a while your muscles become tired and cannot work out more, but with rest, they're full back again. The pink hippo milk rumor has been spreading across the web for some time, but it really gained footing in 2013 when National Geographic posted about the hippo's rose-colored milk on both its Facebook and Twitter pages in 2013. Like all mammals, hippos produce white and off-white milk for their young. Despite this fact, it's easy to see where some of the color confusion comes from. Hippos have no actual sweat glands, but they do have mucus glands, which release an oily secretion frequently referred to as blood sweat. Despite its name, this secretion is neither blood nor sweat. Instead, it's a blend of hyposidoric acid and norhyposidoric acid. Combined, these two acids play an important role in hippos' health. If these fluids mix with hippo's milk, it turns it pink. Though it seems pink, certainly it's not. All the mammoths died long before the Egyptian pyramids were built. Believe it or not, there were still woolly mammoths alive and walking on the earth when the Egyptians built their pyramids. I'm not saying the pyramids are way older than you think things either. However, a small colony of mammoths survived in the Wrangel Island, a small island way up in the Arctic. There were as many as 1,000 mammoths living on the island up until around 1615 before current era. This is nearly 1,000 years after the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Wrangel Island lies between Siberia and Alaska and is part of Russia. Woolly mammoths were heavily hunted by the end of the Ice Age. In fact, they were the third most depicted animal in cave art after horses and bison. As their territory shrunk, they were more and more confined, their available food resources dwindled, and there was less genetic diversity for reproducing. It is suspected that heavy hunting by humans combined with a changing climate caused them to go extinct after the last Ice Age. Sharks are the deadliest creatures in the world. Each year, sharks kill only a few people around the globe. The world's deadliest creature in terms of raw number of deaths are mosquitoes. Yes, mosquitoes. The diseases they carry on kill more than 3 million people each year all over the world, but mostly Africa, as about 1,000 people die from malaria every day. On the contrary, about 22 people died from shark attacks worldwide in the whole of 2019. Although if someone wants to pull the probability card, the odds of being killed by a shark in the USA, which records the most attacks every year, are more than 3.7 million to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
A wine glass can be broken by voice. I wanted to close this list with a fact. Indeed, the human voice can break a wine glass. Although it seems rather unlikely to break something with no physical interaction, it is possible. But with one condition: you have to find and keep the musical note, or scientifically speaking, the frequency of the glass that coincides with the resonant frequency of the glass. Once you slightly hit the tip of your finger on the glass, you will hear a note. This is a task for you. Find this frequency with your voice and keep it steady while close to the glass. And by close I mean 5 or 10 centimeters. Once the resonant frequency is met, the glass starts to vibrate. Then the stiff structure of the glass starts to break apart. This, of course, on a microscopic level. Keep that note for a while though, until your voice creates a significant crack on the glass shell. Then it is only a matter of time until the glass breaks. So that's it folks for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. While I was making my research about today's episode, I found many interesting bits here and there which didn't make it to the final cut. But I will surely take a deeper look at some of the most interesting things and make, for example, the grass breaking experiment myself. Did you find these myths and truths interesting? What beliefs did they miss? Either it is truth or myth, make sure to comment down in the comment section to discuss about those facts. See you next time!